Hi, so in lesson 6, you guys will be learning the preterite tense, which will be the first part of two tenses that we use in Spanish for the past tense. So the first past tense is called the pretérito, and it has an accent mark over the E, pretérito, the preterite tense. And in Spanish 112, you will learn the imperfecto. But for now, let's just focus our attention on the regular verbs. So for regular verbs, if you remember, those were the first ones that you saw when you started studying Spanish. So those are the verbs that end in AR, ER, or IR. For example, yo hablo, tú hablas, él habla, nosotros hablamos, vosotros habláis, y ellos hablan. The way to study this is to remember that hablar, you group all of these verbs like, for example, estudiar, hablar. You can do estudiar, comprar, trabajar, etc. right here. Okay, so this will be your first group. So this is how you, for example, if you want to conjugate comprar, you know that the endings are all going to be like this. So yo compro, tú compras, él compra, nosotros compramos, vosotros compráis, y ellos compran. Same thing goes with comer and vivir. One thing you need to remember about comer and vivir is that they are pretty similar. So notice, comer and vivir, yo como, yo vivo. The ending is the same. Tú comes, tú vives. Él come, él vive. However, when you get to nosotros, notice, this is an ER ending. So nosotros comemos, and this one is an IR ending. Therefore, we say vivimos. Okay? Also, in the vosotros form, coméis because it is an ER ending, and vivís because it is an IR ending. Therefore, when we get to ellos, we go back to the same, comen and viven. All right? So with some minor differences, they are almost identical, right? So if you look for verbs like comer, you can probably think of beber, right? Beber. And if you want to look for verbs that end in IR, I can think of escribir, for example. Okay? And that is the way you are going to be conjugating regular verbs. And this is all that we expect you to do in lesson 6. So keeping that in mind, we now move on to the past tense. For example, the question is, what did you do yesterday? ¿Qué hiciste ayer? Right? For example, if I were to ask you, ¿qué hiciste ayer? What did you do yesterday? Right? Notice that you are not going to answer the question by using the word hiciste, because this is the verb hacer. What did you do yesterday? What you want to do is use one of the verbs that you have already learned. So what are you going to do with the preterite forms of the regular verbs? So notice, what are we going to do with hablar? So here we want to say I spoke, you spoke, she spoke, and so on. So the idea here is, and I want you to pay attention to where we place the accent marks. So, yo hablé, tú hablaste, él habló, nosotros hablamos, vosotros hablasteis, y ellos hablaron. Okay, so take a look at the endings, and they are going to be exactly the same as the ones that you saw up there for, let's say, that we want to do estudiar, trabajar, comprar, and so on and so forth. So if you want to say I worked, then you would say yo trabajé. If you want to say I bought something, yo compré. Here where we have nosotros, okay, nosotros, let's say that we want to say we bought something, nosotros compramos. If we use the vosotros, vosotros comprasteis. How about if we wanted to say estudiar? You guys studied. Excuse me. Ellos, they. So you would say ellos estudiaron. Okay. Now, if you look at the past tenses or the pretérito for comer, the ER or the IR endings, this is what you do. So yo comí, tú comiste, él comió, nosotros comimos, vosotros comisteis y ellos comieron. All right? Now, if you look at vivir, it's going to be yo, viví, you guessed it, it's the same. Yo comí, yo viví. Tú comiste, tú viviste. Él comió, usted vivió. Nosotros comimos, nosotros vivimos. Vosotros comisteis, vosotros vivisteis. Y ellos comieron, ustedes vivieron. Excuse me, ellos. Okay? So notice that in the pretérito, they are all the endings are exactly the same. And I am going to just let you know that this will be available for you to take a look at all of the forms, okay? All of the endings I am going to put in red so that you see that they are exactly the same, okay? After comió, comí, comiste, and so on and so forth. So let me know if you have any questions, and I will continue posting all of these, let's call them study videos for your final. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will get back to you and hopefully help you figure this out. Thank you, and have a great day.